was very important for a lot of people. We won a major legal battle to stop that law, although the Conservative Court of Appeals later let it take effect. But it gave me a lot of inspiration. That's one reason why I became a candidate, and I'm not going to talk about the campaign, but the idea that there's so many of us out there, and that even if a district was gerrymandered and supposed to be permanent Republican, that maybe it could be Democrat if we show up and do the work. So, over time, I've gotten to learn about how many people in the Texas 10th, which, if you haven't memorized the map, basically goes from the lake all the way out to Tomball, crosses 9 counties, and includes places where maybe you only drive past them on the way to Houston, whether you're taking 71 or 290, it's basically that entire community. And what I've learned is that in these towns, these places like Brenham and Eagle Lake, Cypress, Tomball, Ellinger, LaGrange, there are caring and loving people in each of these places. And they might think they're alone, If I knock on their door and talk to them, they might tell me they'll support me, but when I say, would you put up a sign, they say, oh no, my neighbors will shoot it up, right? But it turns out, if you look at the list, there's actually more of them than they realize. And so, the struggle for justice for immigrants is one of the things that has really inspired me about our Austin community. And that's one of the things that made me run for Congress. The question of immigration is a question of who can be in this country, who gets to call themselves America. A similar issue is who gets to decide who's in power in America. And that's where this issue of voting rights has really come up. And I really think they're two sides of the same coin. It's who can be here and who can control the country. And if justice for immigrant families is what got me into running for Congress, it's the struggle for voting rights that has proven to be where I felt most useful as a candidate and as somebody who's active in this district. And we saw an intersection of these two issues in early 2019 when the Secretary of State announced that he was going to purge 95,000 people from the voting rolls. This was this interim Secretary of State named David Whitley, appointed by Greg Abbott. Used to be Greg Abbott's driver, I understand. But he basically relied on the Attorney General, Ken Paxton, to come up with a list of 95,000 people who he said had voted illegally. And it turns out most of these people are newly naturalized Mexican-American citizens, just by coincidence, right?
Yeah.
And it turns out that the way they identified these people was by looking at driver's license information going back 15, 20 years. And in this country, if you have a green card, for example, you can still get a driver's license. And so Ken Paxton and these other folks said, hey, they weren't a citizen when they got a driver's license. They voted in 2018. Look at the illegal people voting. And of course, every year in Texas, we naturalized 50,000 new citizens. And so if you had a green card 15 years ago, there's plenty of opportunity to become a citizen by 2018. But this was a huge thing because not only did they share that they were going to purge these so-called illegal voters, but then President Trump shared that, hey, look at these 100,000 people in Texas who are voting and they shouldn't be.